Welcome everybody to the Week in Review, episode 190. Let's jump into a decent Monday Night Raw. We opened up the show with a good old tag team match. It was the Usos going up against Kevin Owens and Riddle. You guys are probably like, wait, Kevin Owens? It was supposed to be Elias. Elias got attacked earlier in the night, so he was not able to participate in this match. He got attacked by the Usos and the Bloodline, obviously. But Kevin Owens took the spot of Elias. He helped out Riddle in the match, but it didn't really go as planned for Riddle and Kevin Owens. They were going after those undisputed tag team championship belts, but it didn't really go as planned. They ended up losing the match in pretty short fashion. I felt like this was a very short opener. I felt like it could have been longer. But in the end, did see a really cool 1D from the Usos to Riddle. They were able to retain with that maneuver, and then Kevin Owens was sick and tired of the Bloodline. He got a steel chair. He started running after the Usos. He chased him out of the arena, but then he left Solo in the ring with an already taken out Riddle. Solo was acting like Umaga here, guys. He was doing Samoan moves. He was doing the freaking nail, thumb right to the freaking neck, just like Umaga used to do. He was literally acting like Umaga, and I loved it. It was so cool. It's like a modern-day Umaga, and he absolutely assaulted Riddle, guys. He put him on a stretcher, or, well, Medical put him on a stretcher after he was finished with him, and you gotta think they're gonna take Riddle off of TV for a while here, maybe until Randy comes back. I'm not 100% positive, but yeah, you gotta think Riddle's gonna be off TV here for a couple weeks. But it was awesome seeing Solo like show off his true potential here, taking out Riddle. I thought it was really cool. Next up, we had a really decent promo between Becky Lynch and Bayley. Bayley was out there talking about like how she's going to win the triple threat match and then go on to face Bianca Belair for the world championship. But then Becky Lynch she interrupted. She came out from the crowd again. I like that. I think that's really cool. She came down, and then Bayley's like, yeah, well, you were gone and then I was here, so we never really ever have our match. And Becky Lynch, they were just going back and forth. I thought this was a really good promo, of course, because they did have two triple threat matches. The winner of the triple threat matches will face each other. Winner of that match faces Bianca Belair. So that's why they were just getting heated in this promo before the triple threat match. Right after this, we did see Bayley go in a triple threat match against Asuka and Rhea Ripley. This was actually a pretty decent match. I did enjoy the triple threat style to it, but I knew Rhea Ripley wasn't going to get pinned, and I also knew Bayley was not going to get pinned. I knew Asuka was going to get pinned. It's just a matter of who was going to pin her, and it was Bayley. Bayley hit the Rose Plant, which I think is a really lame-ass finisher, dude. It's just so lame. She just sends her opponent's head into the mat, which she did to Asuka, and then she was able to pin Asuka 1, 2, 3, so she gets that match against the other person who wins the other triple threat. But then Rhea Ripley, right after the match, was pretty pissed, and she jumped in the ring and basically just took out her anger on Asuka a little bit more than was probably necessary, not gonna lie. Right after that, we had Seth Rollins out in the ring, looking like an absolute idiot, pulling up in like some baby blue clothes, similar to this suit design that I got from Walmart recently. Great figure, by the way. I recommend you guys pick it up. But he was out there, and he was just doing his stupid Seth Rollins thing, like, yeah, Bobby Lashley, United States Championship, talking about all the current stuff going on. And he mentioned Bobby Lashley, and you don't mention your Bobby Lashley's name with, you're not going to get away with mentioning Bobby Lashley's name. So here comes Bobby Lashley. He runs down. He's like, yeah, you have anything to say? You say it right to my face. And then it broke down between the two after Seth Rollins started mentioning Brock Lesnar and how Bobby couldn't beat Brock Lesnar. Broke down between the two security officials that had come out, and then Bobby Lashley went for a spear on Seth Rollins, but then hit a spear on a WWE official. And then Adam Pearce later backstage said, I have no repercussions this time, but just be more careful, dude. You know what I'm saying? So this wasn't bad. I mean, I really don't know where they're going with this. Are they going to go after the United States title that Theory holds? I don't know. Or are they going to do their own thing? It seems like Seth and Bobby are going to do their own thing here. It's just a matter of, I don't know. They might go after the United States title. I'm not 100% positive. Moving over here, it was Mustafa Ali going one-on-one with Theory for the United States Championship. This was an okay match. Weird ending. Dolph Ziggler. Yes, I love Dolph Ziggler, but he comes out of nowhere during the match. Super kick to Theory, and the bell rings. I was like, what? Dude, random super kick. Dolph Ziggler comes out of absolutely nowhere. Super kick. And Mustafa Ali, the look at Mustafa Ali, he's like, what the heck just happened? He's like, dude, I literally just lost the match because of Ziggler. But then Theory jumped back in the ring and took out both men, including Ziggler, the man that was trying to screw over Theory. Literally, it was crazy. I was like, what the heck just happened? I thought Dolph Ziggler was going to reign supreme here, hold up that United States title bet. I think that would have been better, by the way. But yeah, anyways, Theory hits the A-10 down on Dolph Ziggler and basically just reigns supreme. And he won the match because Dolph Ziggler hit the super kick on him. I was like, dude. Also, before I forget to mention, there was a poker invitational that JBL and Corbin were hosting. And it was, I don't know, it was kind of stupid. It broke down, though, between the OC and the Alpha Academy and Baron Corbin. They had a match later. And then who won the poker game? Dexter Lumis, because he put all of his money in, and then he sort of won after everybody just left the poker game. But then it led to a match between the OC, Alpha Academy, and Baron Corbin. Match was decent. Nothing too crazy happened. You know what I'm saying? Mia Yim was on ringside, but the one thing that I absolutely loved, in the end of the match, we finally saw a magic killer from the club, dude. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, they hit a magic killer on Chad Gable to pick up the victory, and I was like, yes, finally, dude. I've been waiting to see the Magic Killer from the OC. Great to see them hit that maneuver. Like, let's freaking go, dude. The club is back on top with an easy dub here. Moving over here, this is probably the weakest match of the night. Is Dominic going one-on-one with Akira Tozawa for whatever reason. The only highlight of the match was this bump from Akira Tozawa. He literally jumped like 10 feet in the air off the top rope and did his little like trust fall swanton bomb type thing, or just a senton type deal right off the top, and Dominic moved out of the way and literally just landed right on his back. I was like, oh my god. And then Dominic set him up for the frog splash and picked up the victory, and then Judgment Day sort of just stood over Akira Tozawa. I'm like, dude, it's Akira Tozawa. Like, what are you so proud of? And then the Street Profits come out and sort of even the odds so they don't beat up on Akira Tozawa, which I thought was a little underwhelming, not gonna lie. And then our main event of the show, which definitely deserved the main event in my opinion, was Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross versus Becky Lynch in the other triple threat match that was scheduled on the show. This match was definitely better than the Rhea Asuka Bayley match in my opinion. I enjoyed it a lot. In the end, it looked like Becky Lynch was going to pick up the victory, but then here comes Dakota Kai and Io Sky doing the dirty work of Bayley. Got to think they were sent by Bayley to take Becky Lynch out of the equation and make sure she doesn't win, because Bayley's afraid to face Becky Lynch. They send Lynch through the table, and then that allows Alexa Bliss to hit the Twisted Bliss on Nikki Cross, her former rival, and pick up the victory. And now Alexa Bliss is going to be facing Bayley, and then the winner of that match faces Bianca Belair, and I am excited. I hope it's Alexa Bliss, man, but I don't want to see her go back with Bray Wyatt. They keep hinting that she's going to go back with Bray Wyatt. She nearly hit a Sister Abigail during the match. Alexa Bliss needs to do her own thing. Get rid of the Lily doll. Get rid of that terrible theme song she has, and just freaking go back to the OG Alexa Bliss, the little punk Alexa Bliss that would walk around with the title. Like, dude, I miss that Bliss. Not this stupid fiend, I'm still crazy, like Lily doll, this dumb stand up, shut. I hate that theme song. Oh my god, it's so annoying. But yeah, it was a great way to end the show. I really enjoyed Alexa Bliss picking up the victory. But yeah, guys, that was Monday Night Raw setup style. Definitely not as good as last week. This Raw, I'm definitely going to give a 2 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty boring show. It didn't really get my attention as much as last week did. Stand up, shut up, and turn that garbage theme song off. My god, it sucks. Milkomania was running wild once again on this episode of SmackDown. It was pretty cool. We're going to jump into it at the end because it was the main event, main thing that happened on the show. We will jump into it. But before we do, jumping over here, it was the Usos going up against Sheamus and Butch. It was supposed to be Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, if I remember right. But I guess something happened with Drew McIntyre. He couldn't make it to the show, I guess. Not 100% positive what was going down. But Butch replaced Drew, and right when I saw that Butch replaced Drew, I'm like, yeah, no way Sheamus and Butch have a chance in this match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, Solo and Sami Zayn on ringside. There's no way in hell that the Usos are going to lose that match. The match was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a solid banger opening up until the end. We did see the 1D from the Usos to Butch, and then Sheamus. It looked like he was going to break it up, but who was holding his leg? Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn did not allow Sheamus to get into the ring to break up the cover, allowing the Usos to retain their Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Obviously, the honorary Us showing his allegiance even more, but then later in the night, Jey Uso was like, hey man, you gotta, clean up your hair a little bit. The Tribal Chief's returning next week in Chicago. I might be there. So yeah, Jey Uso might have teased a Sami Zayn look change. Maybe a shaved head like he used to have it, or maybe dyeing his hair red like the Usos. I don't know. We will wait and see. Jumping over here, it was LA Knight. LA Knight ended up coming out talking about all the recent attacks on him by who he presumes is Bray Wyatt. So he showed a bunch of the replays of him getting attacked, and he's like, you know what, Bray? I'm going to come and find you backstage, and I'm going to take you out. Yeah. So he went backstage. He was hunting down Bray Wyatt. He found him in a locker room, but then he got attacked. But was it Bray Wyatt, though? It was that masked figure again. Is it Bray Wyatt? I don't know. More than likely it is, because I don't know who else it could be, Bo Dallas. But yeah, Bray Wyatt attacked LA Knight once again, but this time inside of a locker room. It was kind of interesting. Moving over here, it was supposed to be the Viking Raiders, or the Viking Idiots, going up against Legado del Fantasma, but this match sort of barely even got going because Hit Row ended up coming back and getting a little redemption for their attack that the Viking Raiders did to them because they debuted and they took out Hit Row. So Hit Row came out, they squandered the match, disqualification, they took out everybody. Legado del Fantasma, they took out the Viking Raiders. Selena Vega got taken out. She was on commentary. She got taken out by Sarah Logan because B-Fab threw Sarah Logan into her. I thought that was pretty goofy. But anyways, Hit Row showing an impact. Nothing too crazy though. Moving over here, it was a contract signing between Ricochet and the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Of course, they're having an Intercontinental Championship match coming up this Friday night SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois, and I might be there, guys. I'll keep you guys posted on my Instagram. And the contract was signed, but then the New Day came out, and it turned into a 6-man tag team match after a little brawl. You guys know how these contract signing ends. Come on! It was a pretty decent tag team match. It was a little more one-sided than I would want it to be. I felt like Imperium dominated most of the match up until the end, where Ricochet was finally able to hit a shooting star press on one of the members of Imperium. It was either Ludwig or Giovanni Vinci. And then he was able to pick up the victory with the shooting star press, just showing how he has momentum. He has freaking momentum going into this IC title match. Will he beat Gunther? More than likely not, but it's going to be a great match, no doubt about it. As far as the 6-man and the contract signing, wasn't too bad. Moving over here, it was Tegan Nox and Liv Morgan going up against Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey in a tag team match. This match was okay. Nearing the end, Raquel Rodriguez made her way down the entrance ramp, making her presence felt, distracting Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in order for Tegan Nox to hit the shiniest wizard, or the shining wizard, to Shayna Baszler to pick up the victory while Ronda was distracted as well, Shayna. So that gained them a women's tag team championship opportunity against Damage Control's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. So that ought to be a pretty decent match. But as far as them winning, there's no way. Tegan Nox and Liv Morgan, they literally just started becoming friends, so there's no way that they win those tag titles. But as far as this goes, it was okay. Moving over here, it was the birthday celebration of Kurt Angle! And he came out to the "You Suck" chants, and then he got berated. Before he could get more than like 5 words out, the Alpha Academy interrupt because they were unhappy that they weren't invited to the party backstage. They came out, they made their presence felt, they just berated Kurt Angle, they made fun of him, they said, "You really do suck." I agree with this, WWE Universe, Chad Gable said, but obviously when the WWE Universe chants "You suck" to his entrance music, that is paying homage, paying respect to his career, believe it or not. But then Kurt Angle left the ring per the orders of the Alpha Academy, but he went up the ramp and he got Gable Steveson and a milk truck to drive down to the ring. Gable Steveson, of course, an Olympian, very similar to Kurt Angle. And yeah, he drove the milk truck down with a guy, and then they started throwing milk cartons at Otis and Chad Gable, and I'm like, oh my god, this is such a downgrade compared to when Kurt Angle doused the entire WCW guys, including Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he just destroyed the celebration back then in like 2001 or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just gonna throw the cartons at him with Gable Steveson. But then I saw him started getting the hose. He brought the hose up and he just doused Otis and Gable. I don't know if it was real milk. Was it real milk, guys? It was more than likely white, just water dyed white. Yeah, that's more than likely what it was, because man, I don't know if it was real milk. If anybody was sitting in the front row behind the commentator desk, let me know if that was milk, because that definitely hit you guys. But yes, guys, it was pretty fun. I did enjoy the ending. Got me pretty excited for the show. But as far as the entire show in a whole, not a bad show at all. I'm going to give this show a solid 3 out of 5. Believe it or not, there were some decent matchups, decent action, a little slow moving at some points. But other than that, I thought it was a solid show. 3 out of 5 here for SmackDown. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this week in review setup. Stay tuned until next Friday, or next Saturday, I should say, when we do the next week in review setup. That being episode 191, I believe. And I might even be going to that SmackDown. I will keep you guys posted on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Brett.